Let's be real, poker's a game of skill, patience, and sometimes total chaos. Because when the pressure's on, even the best pros can go from genius to disaster in a single heartbeat. In this video, we're diving into the most outrageous poker fails ever caught on camera. I'm talking misreads that'll make your head spin, folds that defy all logic, and million-dollar blunders you'll be replaying in disbelief. These aren't just mistakes, they're straight-up implosions, big names, huge stakes, and decisions so bad, they're legendary. You'll witness players tossing away monster hands, bluffing into disaster, and walking straight into traps they should have seen coming. But here's the real question. What happens when confidence turns into catastrophe and the whole world is watching? Number 1. Dan Shack's all-in disaster. Dan Shack is no rookie. He's been around high-stakes tables for years. But on this day, he turns a decent hand into an absolute train wreck. The hand starts calm enough. Shack raises with King-Jack suited. Greg Jensen calls with King-Queen, unknowingly dominating him. But the real threat? Scott Seaver, sitting quietly with pocket rockets. 2 beautiful aces. Scott re-raises, small and sneaky. Shack calls, Jensen calls, 3-way pot, tension rising, flop, 9-9-10. No one connects. Then out of nowhere, Shack shoves all in. It's a bizarre move. What's he repping here? A 9? A set? Nothing makes sense. Jensen, confused but curious, calls. Scott sighs, probably dying inside, and calls too. The turn and river change nothing. Scott scoops it. Shake's bluff crashes. Jensen's king high wasn't far off. Millions of chips, gone in a snap. Was it a bold play? A misclick? Or just a moment of madness from a seasoned vet? Number 2. Daniel Negreanu versus Aces, overplaying the TV meta. Daniel Negreanu knows the cameras are rolling, and when you're a crowd favorite like him, playing flashy comes with the territory. Steve Silverman picks up pocket aces, again. He raises. Daniel looks down at not much, but decides to 4-bet anyway. Why? Because that's what the kids on TV do. It's poker theater. Big chips, big talk, big flex. Only problem? Silverman isn't playing games. He clicks it back with a 5-bet. Ice cold, 0 hesitation. Daniel freezes. His confident table banter slows. The sunglasses don't hide the fact that he's been caught reaching. Eventually he folds with a grin, pretending it was all part of the plan. But everyone watching knows he tried to out-meta a guy holding the nuts. Sometimes style points can't save you. But here's the thing. What happens when playing for the cameras backfires this hard? Mini reflectee. When confidence becomes chaos. What do Dan Shack and Daniel Negreanu have in common? They're both seasoned players, sharp, respected, no strangers to high-stakes pressure. But in these hands, one tried to force the action, the other tried to force a storyline, and both crashed. In poker, confidence is a weapon, but it cuts both ways. Play too timid and you miss value. Play too bold and you end up torching your stack for everyone to see. And that's the thing about these early fails. They're not about bad luck. They're about bad timing, about letting emotion, ego, or expectations get in the way of clear thinking. But if you thought that was brutal, wait till you see what happens when people think they're ahead and call themselves straight into disaster. Number 3. Neil Farrell's painful. Call against a set of 9s. Neil Farrell is no amateur. But even the best get trapped when the cards look harmless, and your gut says, hey, maybe. He raises with ace-jack. Benjamin Lamprecht flats with pocket 9s and flops top set. 3 beautiful 9s just chilling. Then things get weird. The third player in the hand, Ollie Price, leads out with pure air. Farrell calls. Lamprecht, calmly holding the nuts, raises big. Now it's on Neil. He should fold. He has nothing. But he's getting a good price. He's in position. And maybe, just maybe, his opponent's bluffing? Spoiler, he's not. The turn brings an ace, and Lamprecht shoves. Farrell tanks and calls, drawing completely dead. Just like that, the chips are gone. Not because he got unlucky, but because he talked himself into a disaster. In poker, "maybe I'm good" is one of the most expensive sentences you can think. Number 4. Martin Jacobson's multi-street punt into a set. Martin Jacobson, World Series of Poker champ, composed, calculated. But this time, he goes full send. Into a brick wall, he defends a 7 offsuit in the big blind. The flop comes 4 clubs, 6 diamonds, 4 spades, Mayboard. So what does Martin do? He leads out, a move you rarely see without a plan. Behind him, Dan Coleman holds a set of 4s, literal dreamland. He flats, slow playing perfectly. Turn, 10 diamonds. Martin's hand didn't improve. Still, he fires again, 155,000 into the abyss. Coleman calls, calm as ever. River, king of spades, boards paired, flushes missed. Martin? He rips it, pure bluff, all in. Coleman doesn't even blink. Snap call, showdown, disaster. Martin's line made no sense. No real story, no pressure, just a series of desperate stabs that turned into a slow, painful implosion. When you're bluffing, the worst opponent is one who's already got the nuts. Mini reflectee, the danger of hope and heat. Not every poker fail comes from ego. Sometimes it's just hope. That whisper in your head saying, maybe he's bluffing, or worse, I can win this if I just keep pushing. Both Neil Farrell and Martin Jacobson didn't lose because their cards were bad. They lost because they couldn't let go. Neil got a good price. Martin had to try. But poker doesn't care about your feelings or your need for a miracle. And that's the danger. Once emotion creeps in, even the sharpest minds start seeing hands that don't exist. A gut shot becomes a reason. A flat call becomes a green light. You think you're making a read, but you're really just hoping you're not wrong. And when hope takes the wheel, yeah, it usually ends in flames. Number 5. Chow folds. Kings against kings. You've seen bad calls. You've seen wild bluffs. But nothing, and we mean nothing, hurts like folding the exact same hand your opponent has when you both have pocket kings. Enter Chow. He picks up pocket kings under the gun, a dream spot. But instead of going aggressive, he flats, playing it sneaky. Dario Minieri, an ultra-aggressive Italian pro, picks up his own pocket kings and does what Dario does. He fires a 3-bet. Action folds back to Chow. Now with kings in your hand, this is usually a slam-dunk shove. But Chow, he tanks, he thinks, and then he folds. Yes, he folds kings. The table is stunned. The commentators are speechless. Dario scoops the pot with the exact same hand. No better kicker, no scary board. Just 2 kings, and one of them ends up in the muck. Why did he fold? Only one possible explanation. He put Dario on exactly aces. Not queens, not ace-king, only aces. A read so specific and it makes your head spin. But here's the kicker. Even if Dario had aces, the equity difference was tiny. It's a cooler. You live with it. Folding here? That's not discipline. It's disaster. Chow made a hero fold. But this time, the villain didn't even exist. In poker, overthinking can be just as deadly as not thinking at all. Poker isn't just about math or cards. It's about moments. Moments where pressure peaks, instincts collide, and even legends can collapse. What do all these fails have in common? They didn't happen because the players were bad. They happened because they're human, caught in a swirl of doubt, ego, hope, or just trying to be a little too clever. From Dan Shack's wild bluff to Chow folding a hand most of us would marry, every mistake here became poker history. And honestly, that's what makes the game so addictive. You're always one decision away from greatness, or the most humiliating hand of your life. So the next time you're at the table, just remember, trust your gut, stay sharp. And whatever you do, don't fold kings. If you loved this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, Which fail made you scream at your screen?